afraid of dying.
How do you know? You've never tried it before.
Children of the night, what music they make.
I would die for her. I would kill for her. Either way, what bliss.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Welcome to Fright Night.
What's the prime time?
Oh, so vulgar.
So, you know something you can't take home.
You're talking about him as if he were a human being. That part of him died years ago.
Death. There are no accidents, no coincidences, no mishaps, and no escapes.
Such sights to show you.
Ugly motherfucker.
Hey, you shut your face!
There's a formula to it. A very simple formula.
What are you gonna do? Knock my block off? It's a scream, baby! Game over.
Patient.
They're here.
I always love the "they're here."
What's up, man?
What's going on? What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Fan Film Weekly. The only one this week, unfortunately, due to some extenuating circumstances. But we're back on a Tuesday, normally scheduled Tuesday. We got we got three short videos, three short fan films. We're gonna be doing tonight. But as always, with me on Fan Film Weekly, got my buddy Michael from Movies and Beyond. What is up, man?
What is going on, dude?
Not much. I had a lazy weekend. I told you backstage, man. I had such a lazy weekend. I didn't do anything I needed to do in terms of like real world stuff or YouTube stuff. And I'm just excited to jump back into this. I'm excited to watch some fan films. I've been missing some, and I'm just ready to get back in it for the week. Ready to get my head back in the game, you know?
Hell yeah, man. Oh yeah, crazy weekend for me, dude. You know, a lot of stuff going on here. But like you said, man, I'm ready to get back into it. I'm ready to get back in.
Yeah, it's always fun. I don't see many people in the chat so far, but I'm assuming, we'll have a few more people jump in. Maybe not, maybe so. We're going to have a good time either way. I do see Russell Dorsey jumping in and say, what's up, everyone? Smash that like button. Hope everyone is having a wonderful night. Happy Fan Film Tuesday, everyone. From the picture, it looks like we're going back to Crystal Lake. We are temporarily going back to Crystal Lake. Yeah, there is going to be some Crystal Lake in here. There's going to be some other stuff too, though. Then we got Melissa. Melissa saying, what's up? What's up to Michael as well? How you doing, Melissa? I see the General just jumped in. Good evening, gentlemen. The General always gets a salute. Speaking of salute, Toby Keith died today.
Did.
Yeah, he was. I didn't know he was I think he was in the Army.
That I didn't know. I know he was very
patriotic.
Big on, yeah. Patriotic's good. And I was gonna say something along the lines of very he talked a lot about like veterans and things like that. I think patriotic's a very good way of saying that.
I'm pretty sure he was in the Army. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. No, never mind. Completely wrong. Never mind. I saw someone post something today about yeah, never mind. I saw something and I guess it was misleading information. He was not, but you're absolutely right. He was very patriotic. And yeah, he was. I love some of his music. I still belt "Should Have Been a Cowboy" at the top of my fucking lungs anytime that song comes on.
What was this song that I like? Because I'm not big, on country music. I enjoy, some country music, especially when I was in the military and stuff like that. You get a very big, you get it like an awakening to a lot of things that you're not accustomed to. And country music was something for me. I never listened to country music prior to being in the military, but you make a lot of friends from a lot of different places, and they, show you a lot of, their culture and stuff. I really liked the song he did. Was it called "I Love This Bar"? I like this bar.
Oh, it's "I Love This Bar."
Yes, dude. I love that. Yeah, I love that song when it came out.
Love this bar.
Right. And I'm not a huge country fan whatsoever, dude, but you can tell good music is good music when, a genre of music or a type of music that you don't like, if it's a good song, it's a good song. It doesn't matter, what type of music it is. And I felt like that. Well, that one and "The Devil Goes Down to Georgia." Those were the two country songs that really stuck out in my head. That I was just like, yes, I can listen to these any freaking time, man.
"Devil Went Down to Georgia" is that is a timeless song.
Yeah.
But back to the original point. Yeah, man. He passed away today. Unfortunately, he had a almost 3-year battle with stomach cancer, and unfortunately didn't make it through. As far as I know, there's never been any controversy or anything surrounding him. I think he was just a good guy, very a good artist, and it seems to be missed already by a lot of people. So. Unfortunately, I just want to throw that out there because I know, like I said, he was a very patriotic gentleman, and just brought it up. But I see a few more people jumping in here, and I want to point this one out. Mr. Rick's jumping in. It says, "Just got done watching the Horrorverse fan films. Very enjoyable. Can't wait for the next one." Man, you and me both, Mr. Rick, bro. I am like, when we did that last episode with them, I'm like, so when's the next one coming out? Like, what are we doing here? When's the next one, man?
Eric's rushing their production. Like, well, you guys could film that next month. It'll be fine.
Like, bro, what do you need? What do you need to get it done?
What do you need to get it done right now? It's like Tyrone Bigham's trying to get my Horrorverse on. I'm trying to get it in.
Y'all got any more of them Horrorverse?
Y'all got any more of them Horrorverse movies?
I smoke rocks, Joe Rogan. Oh,
in my line of work, I love Tyrone Bigham's, man. And speaking of Tyrone Bigham's,
he was in the Shape.
He was in Halloween Inferno.
Oh, Halloween
with
Inferno,
the Coleman
right,
brothers.
The Coleman brothers.
And speaking of the Coleman brothers, I saw Serial Episode 1 was released.
Dude, I saw that, and it took everything in my being not to click on it.
I liked the message on Instagram. That's as far as I went with it, but it's out there.
Dude, I saw the thumbnail pop up, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It took every fiber of my being not to be like, it's just play it off like I haven't seen it. Val's throwing it out there. Even if you don't care for country music, most people know at least one of the songs, and that's true. Like, he's got a lot of different sounding songs too. Like, he's got like old school country, like feel. He's got new school country. He's got like Red Solo Cup. Don't even know if I'd classify that as country. That's just kind of like a chill party song. I love How Do You Like Me Now? Whiskey for My Men, Beer for My Horses with Willie Nelson. Like, bro, he's just got such a good catalog. I really enjoy it. But Denisha's jumping in. What's up, Denisha? Say, hey, everyone. How's it going? Russell, Devin went down to Georgia in that one video of his where he's singing with the Dallas cheerleaders. Is that How Do You Like Me Now? I don't know.
Not sure.
I don't know, but yeah, he's got a good catalog of a bunch of great sounding music. So, but in terms of fan films, by the way, Mr. Rick, I can't say enough good things about the Horrorverse, bro. I am like impatiently waiting for these last two like final films, because if you didn't hear, there will be two more feature length films to finish out that series. As far as I remember from our stream, March or somewhere like that, or no, this
No, I think they
summer.
wanted to start filming in March. I was thinking they said like June or July, possibly for the release date of the
Yeah, and
next
then
movie.
trying to get the last one out by like December of this year, right?
Yes.
So as far as I know, if I can remember from our stream, if you haven't watched, we did do a watch along on Michael's channel over there with the creators, and talked about everything. And from what I remember, the production plan moving forward is the last 2 episodes will both be filmed pre or post production and released this year. That's the goal.
Great guys over there, by the way, man.
They're so cool.
Yeah.
So cool and so fucking talented, man.
Yeah.
Like they put out such good products.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just like their films and the creativity behind it too. Because let's be honest, you can have production value, camera settings perfected, audio perfected, effects. You can have all that tuned to a T, but if you don't have a good story, it means nothing.
Yeah.
And their story keeps you sucked in. Like
It does.
and that's one thing I find with a lot of these so far is a lot of these fan films. I'm so curious because as a fan film, like when you're creating it, you really do have the power to do whatever you want. Like obviously there's a preset mythology out there to most of this, but you can change that. And that's what they did with the horrorverse, man. Like Michael and Jason being brothers.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist anywhere.
Right.
But I mean, you can make that exist if you want it. And that's so I love the creativity behind some of these. And that's honestly what I look for is like, how is your fan film going to stand out? Like, how is it? I understand as a fan, you want to make your own thing. I support that completely. But one of the things I say a lot of the time talking about fan films is you got to justify your reason for existing. Like, why does this fan film need to be made, need to be watched? What is it doing that sets it apart? And you don't have to do that, obviously, but I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to enjoy it as much if it's just another run-of-the-mill, like, kids walk into Crystal Lake for some reason, get killed. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, give something else. Like, give a little bit more to the story. Like Victim No More, we watched last week on my channel. Man, like the idea that this group of victims and survivors from Crystal Lake would form a support group and use one of their children as bait to draw Jason out and just fucking demolish him, even if they didn't have good gun safety rules. Like, even if they didn't follow those things, that's a cool story. That's something we haven't seen before, at least that I can remember. So
Yeah.
I really love that. It's something I'm looking forward to. And obviously CCC Entertainment, it's CCC Entertainment, right?
Yeah.
That's something they have in spades, the creativity, but they also got the technical side of it down. Like, looks great, sounds great, as well as an amazing story. So we are going to be going to Crystal Lake, but we're also going to be going, I believe, to Haddonfield, as well as a little stopover on Elm Street. We're going to be doing 3 tonight. We've got 1 Michael, 1 Jason, 1 Freddy. These are shorter films. I think one is 30, one's 10, and one's like 8. So I figured that, with talking in between each one, because we are going to break some stuff down, talk about them a little bit. That'll probably bring us out to an hour and 15. So I figured that'd be a pretty good time. And I'm going to leave this up to the chat. Which one do you guys want to start with? You want to start with Nightmare? You want to start with Jason? Or you want to start with Michael?
Throw a poll up there, man. Throw a poll.
You know what? I am going to throw a poll. I like doing polls on these things. Hold on a second.
While you're getting that poll together, I do want to talk about something cool that I did have a chance to listen to today. It was a cool podcast, man.
You getting into a new podcast?
Yeah, there's these 2 idiots talking about Reacher, man, and it was just such a fun time.
Dude, Reacher, that's a good show.
It is a good show. It's a very good show. So if you are looking for a new podcast, you guys should check out Silver Screen Banter.
Yeah, you
It's
should. You
it's
should.
definitely a fun time. And if it lets me, which it looks like it's going to, I threw a link in the chat for people to check out. It's a good listen to. Like I said, it's a podcast. It's not so much a show. But if you haven't
Oh.
checked it out, you should check it out.
Hold on, Botrix just said no. Please don't share. Hold on a second. That's
Moving on. Botrix cut me down, dude.
Hold on. I got this.
F you, Botrix.
You know what it is? I don't think you're a mod. Hold on. I think that's why. I need you to post a message in the chat so I can make you a mod.
Okay, let me go with my. This is one of my favorites. One of my favorite movie quotes of all time. Hello there.
Okay, so
Botrix, you bastard.
add as moderator. Safe. Now you should be able to add in a link. And just so y'all know, if you didn't pick up on the clues there, Michael and I have started a podcast called Silver Screen Banter, and it's also on YouTube. It's a different channel though, because it's not horror. This is something we've been discussing for a couple weeks, I guess, at this point. We love talking about horror, but we also just love movies and TV in general. And we understand that most people come here for horror, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But we do want to have a place where we can discuss, Reacher, Cobra Kai. I think we're going to get to, probably going to get to Supernatural.
Carry on my wayward son. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I just had a little moment there. When you said
bro, it
Supernatural.
happens. It happens. I get it. So that's what Silver Screen Banter is. That's just us talking about movies and TV and like kind of just fucking around a little bit. If you listen to it, it's really just two guys like, oh, you remember this? But what about this? What do you think about this? It's literally all it is, just us and a new topic.
It was like a cafeteria conversation, is what it was. And it was fantastic.
It was so much fun. It was so much fun. Melissa, I actually haven't seen Cobra Kai. So whenever we decide we're gonna do the Cobra Kai episode, I'm gonna have to like binge it the day before or the week before or something, depending on how long it is.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. I need to, like, it's been so long since the last season came out. I probably need to at least recap the last season. A lot of Cobra Kai, Jesus, a lot of Karate Kid alumni.
Well, I know Ralph Macchio and Johnny are in it.
Yes, they're the main focus of the kids are the focus of the show, but they're the main characters to come back. But a lot of people outside of those two that were in Karate Kid movies, a lot of those people are coming back too, like faces that you haven't seen since the 80s, that have popped back in there.
I'm cool with it. I love the Karate Kid movies. I'm excited about the new Karate Kid that they're going to do where they like bridge the gap between the remake and the original.
Yeah.
So I'm really cool with that. So I'm definitely going to check it out. It's just for some reason hasn't been on my my radar. Or not on my radar. It's been on my radar. It just hasn't been on my watch list. I got a lot of other things. I'm about to start the Percy Jackson series that just finished on Disney Plus. About to watch that with the fiance. She's a big Percy Jackson fan. She finished it already, but I'm going to watch it, and I told her I'd watch it with her so she can get my reaction. But I think I've chatted enough here. Let's see what the poll said. Well, we got Michael leading the pack, so I think we're going to start with Michael. Then Jason and Freddie are tied, so I think we'll probably do Michael, then Freddie, then Jason. Let's end it out on Jason.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so this is called Thorn, a Halloween story fan film. So if you have not, gathered from that title, it's based on the Thorn trilogy. As always, I have the link for all three of these videos, as well as the link for the channels that they're on in the description of this video. Please make sure you go over there, leave them a like on the video, drop a comment on the video, show them some love for these fan films they've made. They do this out of love of the franchise, and even if the movie is not for us, like not, we don't agree with the choices, the decisions they made. They still made it out of love as fans for fans. So definitely go give it a love, or give it some love, give it a like, drop a comment, let them know, show them your appreciation for creating. So let's see here. Let me move this over so I'm closer by. Present, share screen, tab, Thorn, share. We're gonna make that full screen. Looks like it is in 4K. As always, let me know the volume here before anybody got any last things before we start?
Do you have anything to declare?
Yeah. I see a lot of people talking about Cobra Kai. I guess this is something I guess this is a really big thing. Honestly, when it started, didn't it start on like YouTube?
It did, and then it went to Netflix. Yes.
And I'm not gonna lie. I hope this doesn't make me sound elitist or anything, but when I saw that it dropped as like a YouTube original series, I was like, I feel like, gonna be honest, my first thought was, I feel like if it was good, it would have got picked up on TV, like by a network, Like, I feel like there's a reason it went to YouTube as a series, like a YouTube original series. And I think when it did, that was a very new thing,
Mhm.
So I didn't really give it a chance because of that.
I remember when I first heard of it, my first thought was the show How I Met Your Mother, where Barney Stinson was really big on Johnny being the real Karate Kid.
Oh yeah, Johnny was the Karate Kid to him. He hated Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, and he was the hero. According to Barney, he was the true hero of the Karate Kid. And when I heard Cobra Kai was coming out, I was just like, oh my God, they're telling it from Johnny's perspective. I got to see this. And I was hooked from day one. Like, that shows, yeah. Hell yeah, man.
So is that what it is? It's Karate Kid from Johnny's perspective?
It's where is Johnny now? That's where it started. Like, it picks up current time from Johnny Lawrence's point of view of, how is he now? And he's pretty much where you'd expect him to be, especially when it starts.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like your life kind of comes, even though he was only a kid, I feel like his life might have came crumbling down after that. So
safe to say.
Well, I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure we know what the third episode of the podcast is going to be about then. Like,
oh, I can dig it.
I mean, the second episode obviously is going to be second season of Reacher.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So we'll talk a little bit more about that, but I'm gonna have to watch these movies, or this series. But for now, we're gonna jump into Thorn, a Halloween story fan film. Y'all make sure to let me know how the volume is, and let's get it going. Well, that was terrifying.
What mask was that?
I want to say that was the part curse. I think that was the curse mask. We'll go back and look at it.
Yeah.
How's the volume for y'all?
Oh, good for me.
Okay.
Good for me on my end, anyway.
Oh man, that music.
Yeah. That music alone just brings its own atmosphere. You could be filming like one leaf on the ground and it would be like, ooh, shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a Smith's Grove band.
Oh, well done.
Yeah. Yeah, Russell saying the mask is from Curse. It looked like a curse. I'm actually a big fan of that one. I absolutely, I have no love for that movie. That mask.
My sign. Hope the rain doesn't fuck up too bad.
That mask gets so much love because it was so much better than 5.
Sign.
Oh, 5 was bad.
Sign. There's gonna be a in a couple of minutes. We gotta get there. Come
Why do
on.
you guys care about that weirdo? Didn't you hear what he was saying to Beth on stage?
Well, excuse me, ma'am. I'm not going to sit here and let you talk ill about our favorite show.
Okay, but remember, the point is that Michael Myers is gone, and that's the point that Beth was trying to make on stage.
Can you fucking believe that Tim lives at the Myers house? Blows my fucking mind.
What do you think their folks think of all these Haddonfield college assholes just invading their house?
Let me tell you, old John Strode is probably getting loaded and beating on poor Miss Deborah.
Thanks. Now I have to clean it up.
And we love you for it.
It's a little dark. Could have used a little bit more light.
It's a little dark, yeah.
See, that's the level of breathing I like on a Michael.
I was about to say, this starting out, you know, I already like it better in 6.
Yes, bro, this is already better than Curse. Already.
How did she walk right past him, though? Oh, was he in another room?
I think he was in another room, maybe. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. Oh, Melissa, you've seen this. Nice. No spoilers. I haven't seen it. Michael,
Yeah, I
have you
haven't seen this. No.
Oh, sweet. This is a rare one. This is a rare one that neither of us have seen.
At least I don't think.
It's Back Talk with Barry Sims. We're only minutes away from coming to you live from the one, the only Myers house.
That's the best! I'm so excited.
Take it back. 1972.
Alright, I'm gonna go pick up the beat. And then let's get her.
Bro, this song.
Sounds like a plan, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
love
have to
the
mute
song.
it. Gonna have to mute it, but for the atmosphere, they're really doing good.
Yeah.
Like I said, some lighting.
I'm wondering if that's Michael, though. It seems like it's kind of low, right?
It does seem like it's kind of low, but I feel like that's Michael.
Yeah, it's got to be. If it's not,
Some good makeup too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of POV, which I don't mind, but I think you can get overused, you know?
Yeah.
I got a fever. The only prescription is more cowbell. Oh, nice. It's definitely a curse mask.
Yeah. Yeah, you see it really clear now.
That was a good kill.
It was a good kill.
They lingered a little too long, but
All right, come on, guys. Gotta move on. Let's go. Chad.
turn on some lights, y'all. Come on. What are y'all saving on electricity or something?
I like Michael and the lightning like that. It's super cool.
Oh, that's cool. So, Witch Mask, the part 3.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of these fan films have given tribute to the part 3 masks.
Season of the Witch, man.
That's Cars and Tim's
It was
software.
just set up for failure. Set up for failure, and it sucked.
Famous talk show host on Back Talk has been found murdered. Onlookers claim they saw the body fall from a tree and land into the campus rally. Barry Sims was an acclaimed radio show host, known for his outlandish
Guy from part
program
6.
that was a big hit with local residents in the area. On October 30th, a woman claiming to be Jamie Lloyd, the uncle of serial killer Michael Myers, called into the Barry Sim show, reporting to be chased by Myers. Jamie Lloyd has been reported missing since 1989.
Oh, nice.
After the unforgettable police station massacre here in
Guys, you're not going to believe
Illinois.
this.
I think they will. Or they would if they weren't dead.
Guys.
Give me another lightning strike with Michael standing back there. Oh, yeah. Like the shadow.
Oh, yeah.
They really nailed that part 6 look, didn't they?
They did. The neck is really wide right there, though.
The neck was wide in 6 too. It's one of the things I didn't like about the look of 6. Was the collar tuck. It wasn't there. It wasn't there in 5 either.
5 was really bad.
Yeah,
6
5 was really bad. Yes.
6 wasn't that bad. I didn't think.
One of the ones that, out of the Thorn trilogy that I really didn't like the mask, but they did the collar tuck really well, was 4. They did the collar tuck very well in 4. It's just the mask was poopy.
4 catfished everyone. 4 was terrible because they used the OG mask on the poster. And then you got there.
Same with 5. They did the same thing.
Oh,
ouch. Up the stairs. There's nowhere to go when you go up. Kind of reminded me a little bit of that hallway scene in 6.
oh. Well, he lifted him up by the knife. Oh my god!
That was rough.
Oh my god! Did you see that?
Yeah, that was tough. Oh my god.
He just ripped his skull into. Oh my god!
Joey?
Shut up, girl. Joey's not here. Joey gone forever.
Yeah, well, there it is. Joey's gone.
Joey!
Come on, don't let him know where you are. Oh my god, bro. He just like stabbed him and then was like, I'm not done yet. Oh my god. Oh, go for it.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I don't know if physics works that way, but I dig it.
Oh my god. What? He stabbed her with the handle of the knife.
Yes.
Bro, they did the lighting on Michael's face. Oh, it's the man in black.
Yeah, it is.
It is the Thorn trilogy after all.
Yeah. Hi, buddy.
I love that half illuminated look on Michael there.
It's time to get the child.
I think that's a guitar cover.
Well done. Perfect place to end it.
Will you make sure there's no post-credit scene or anything? Oh, is it? Hold on.
Gather round your TV set, put on your masks, and watch. Watch the magic pumpkin.
I liked it.
Bro, they killed it.
Yeah.
That was so good.
It was really good. Like, you kind of added that original mystique to Michael in a part 6 atmosphere that made it good. And I knew that, you know, when the Man in Black showed up, I was like, here we go. You know, but at the same time, you know, you pointed out, like, hey, this is the 6th storyline, which it is. I get it. But I think they ended it before it went off the rails and made it good the way they did it. I kind of had that old school Halloween feel with a newer atmosphere, you know, with the 6 atmosphere. Hold on, let me reword that. The old school feel in a 6 storyline. And it was fun, man. I really liked it. I really did enjoy that.
I want to say this takes place between 5 and 6, right? Because in 6, he's going after the child, isn't he?
So, yeah, it's kind of funny because, you know, where 6 starts off, Michael comes out of their underground bunker to chase Jamie with the baby.
Yes,
right?
Jamie got away.
So he has to be, you know, the Man in Black has to be talking about, you know, the other kid, you know, not Michael's kid, which that's a whole nother story, you know, but the other kid, I don't remember his name, not the baby, but the kid. So I guess those, you know, and they are 2 separate agendas. You know, he was after the baby and he was also after, I guess, I don't know. It's kind of funny, right? It is.
Yeah, I'm just wondering where it fits in the timeline. I would, like I said, I feel like this would take place. You're right. You're right. They already have the baby at the beginning of 6, and then the baby like Jamie gets away with the baby.
Now rewind. The newscast they showed with Jamie Lloyd. What did they say exactly? Did they say she was dead or she was missing?
What
did
she
they
was
say?
missing since 1980 something.
Okay, then yeah, that doesn't help our story whatsoever. Then, you know, trying to pinpoint that because that was something, you know, that happened in 5. So it you know, it doesn't really help us for where that is.
And you know what? That's okay. Like
100%.
This was while yes, it does fit into the Thorn timeline. I think it fit in really well. It definitely is like a self-contained thing. Like it all takes place within that house.
Yeah.
And then with honestly, this is maybe 20 minutes. Like
if that was 20 minutes, that was a fast 20 minutes. Like
no,
that,
I mean the events of the movie.
Yes.
Like not the runtime per se. Although the runtime itself wasn't like, hold on a second. Let me check the Thorn The runtime of that is 14:31, so 15 minutes. You know
Yeah,
what?
it
Not
went quick.
even actually. I would say like probably 12 minutes with including the credits and everything. So, man, they played that. Dude, the kills. Like we didn't even talk about the kills, like the effects and everything.
Yep.
Bro, they were. I think
Yeah.
you're. Oh, there it is. I was about to say your camera froze there for a second.
Oh, okay. But yeah, dude, part 6, Michael, say what you want about the movie. He was very brutal. You know, part 6, Michael, let's not forget about when he was in the lab. I think they were doctors, you know, and he just went nuts in there. He was very brutal, Michael, and they stuck with that. You know, they made him that, you know, brutal, gory version of Michael Myers. They stayed true to the content and they did it really well. That kill on the wall was creative. You know, I'm not sure, you know, like I said, physics wise, how that would work, but you know,
hey man, if he got it in a stud, you got to wonder going long way through a stud versus the tensile strength of that stud going long ways versus the tensile strength of the skull. I would imagine the skull would be stronger, but who knows? You know, he could force it through there.
And let's not forget about the weight of the body on the knife. You know, I mean,
we did that with Bob though too.
100%. 100%.
And honestly, this one is more realistic. Honestly, I think in terms of the body hanging, because she's a smaller person.
You're talking about weight distribution. And
Yeah.
100%. I was thinking more along the lines of the actual handle going through the back of her skull and coming out through her mouth. Like that's a tough go. Like that's
You know what, man? You know what?
just lining it up. Like the angle.
I don't think it wouldn't have had to gone through her skull. It could have gone like if you look under the back, like if you feel like you could have gone like basically through the bottom, very bottom, like where the spinal cord meets the skull, and out the mouth. I mean, if you look at a skull, like there's a straight opening where there is no skull, like the skull ends.
Yeah, but you still have your spinal cord right there.
Yeah, but getting through spinal cord, I don't think would be anywhere near as hard as getting through skull, because the spinal cord is only attached by like nerves and joints. You could easily separate those, but like actually breaking through a skull, it's really hard.
I love how we're trying to Mythbusters a kill in a fan film, and it's such an unrealistic scenario. Like it's like, well,
dude,
technically,
and like we didn't even talk about him ripping the dude's face in half. He stabbed the dude in the back, right?
Yeah.
And then he used the knife to lift the dude up.
Yeah.
And then he ripped his face in half.
He just proceeded to tear the flesh off his
Bro,
skull
that was brutal.
Yeah. What a way to go. Because you're gonna be alive during some of that, right?
Oh, and that's the thing. You heard him like screaming the whole time, but then you hear the snap. Like he's like, "Okay, I'm done playing with my food."
Yeah, like ooh, that was rough. That was rough.
Yeah, it was very rough, man.
Before we get started on this next one, I need to go refill my drink real fast, if you don't mind. Before we get started here. All right, I will be right back in like 2 seconds.
We still got to decide which one we're watching.
Oh yeah.
Put another poll up, everyone. Freddy or Jason. We got one of each remaining. Isn't this movie happening in the middle of 6 because of the radio host they talked about found dead? Didn't that happen in 6? Can't remember. Been a long time. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Mr. Rick, is that it kind of takes place in the middle of 6. Like Michael made a little detour. And this is just showing like a little quick 10-12 minutes between the events of 6, maybe some stuff we didn't see. So yeah, bro, that was I was I'm not gonna lie, I was very pleased with that. That was a really good fan film. I think they did a really, really good job. Wow. You never know how these things are going to be, everyone. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't watch these beforehand. Michael, from what I understand, doesn't. Sometimes he'll take what we do is we open it, and I'll usually like just pick a random spot in the middle and be like, hey, this is where we're, just look and see, like, hey, this is the quality that you're going to see. Like, this is how good the movie looks in terms of, video quality. And sometimes you'll see, like, you might just happen to skip to an important part. Most of the time it's not. And so I don't know how these are going to be. I don't. But I've been really happily surprised with a lot of them. And this one was really good. I'm very, very happy with how that turned out. And that is, just so y'all know, once again, it's called The Thorn, a Halloween fan film. And it was made by that guy. His name was Yoder. Hold on a second. Eric Yoder. Once again, a link to that video and his channel is in the description of this video. Make sure to go over there and drop him a like. He does a few fan films. When I checked out his channel, he's got a fan film that I don't know of anyone else ever doing. He's got a basket case fan film.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A basket case fan film. So I don't know what else to even say about that. If you know anything about basket case, it's called Belial.
Okay.
It's gonna be interesting. It looks like he had a trailer for an Evil Dead fan film, but the fan film never showed up on his channel. So not sure where that went. But now that you're back, Michael, let's check the poll here. It looks like Jason is winning this poll.
Okay.
They're 66%. So we're gonna watch Jason next, which means we're gonna end it out on Friday. And this is called Jason Unleashed. I think this is the longest of the fan films. It is 20 minutes and 45 seconds. Of course, that does include credits. So
I don't know. We'll have to see.
It wasn't on our list. Like I said, I checked our fan film weekly list. And
yes, I haven't watched it on my channel, but I'm wondering if I've seen it or not.
Gotcha. All right, let's share screen. Jason Unleashed, a Friday fan film. This came out 2 years ago now. So, as always, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. Let me know how the volume is.
Russell saying basket case was a one-time watch for me. I'm not watching that again. Dude, it's been so long since I've seen basket case. I remember the cover, but I don't necessarily remember the film per se.
All I remember is Belial screaming.
I'll tell you when this is over. Curious to see if I've seen this or not.
Some nice 4K footage there.
100%.
Very crisp video.
And the kids finally defeated
I have
the
seen
monster
this.
and the beast never seen again.
Yes, that was a good one.
You're just gonna be like, yeah, I like this.
Please.
What?
Okay.
What's going
One more.
on,
Well, if
Jason?
you think you're ready for this one.
Yay.
Have
No,
you
don't
ever
kill the
heard
kid.
about
Is Jason
the
gonna
boy
kill
who
this kid?
drowned in the lake? Well, this whole area is called Camp Crystal Lake back in the day. Summer camp. for
Nice,
kids.
Melissa. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait
Boy
to
named
watch that
Jason.
with
Jason Voorhees drowned.
Coleman Brothers, right?
Camp counselors were
Yeah, I
involved
hope
in him.
so. I'll definitely be in touch
His
with
mother
them.
took revenge, but ended up being beheaded.
Either way,
The
we're gonna
legend
get
has
through
it
it.
that he came back
100%.
and avenged his mother's death. And it is said that he watches from deep inside the woods, looking for his next.
Why are you
victim.
trying to traumatize your kid? Like,
Really? Is that true?
Well, it's an urban legend, but there's probably some truth to it.
I don't think I can sleep now.
You'll be okay.
Thanks, Dad. Like, I love it.
Sorry.
you just
You need
fucked
to get
this
some
kid's whole
sleep.
night up.
I tell you what, You can have an early birthday present. I thought this would be perfect for
Oh,
these.
gee, I
camping
wonder
trips.
what that sack is going to be used
Just
for
don't
later.
tell your mother.
Oh, come on. Oh, nice.
Wow, thanks, Dad.
So you're going to kill... You're going to stab
No problem,
Jason?
buddy. Come on, time for bed.
I don't know how this is going to go. I know where that sack is going to end up, though.
This kid's giving me young Tommy Shelby voice vibes. Did you ever see Peaky Blinders?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After we've had some breakfast.
Love Peaky Blinders.
I watched the first couple seasons.
Big day tomorrow,
Such a
Billy.
good show. I can't wait for the movie.
Night.
If there is one.
I think they've already started filming.
Gotta get a shot of the moon in a Friday fan film.
Have to. Even in a Friday movie.
What was that?
It's probably just an animal, Billy. Go back to sleep.
It might be Jason.
Jason's just an urban legend. He's not even real.
Can you go check, Dad?
It's your fault. You're the one who told him about Jason. Like,
Billy's got good instincts.
Billy does.
God, that tent is small. It's almost cartoonish with him standing out of that thing.
Honestly, that's about... It's not far off, though.
Still looks... It looks cartoonish to me.
It
like,
does.
Not to say that the real tent wouldn't look cartoonish, coming out of it.
It's a nice Dutch angle there. Walking with a purpose.
Dad?
I'll tell you what, if I'm Billy's dad
Dad,
and it
where
was
are you?
animal, I still wouldn't go walking off like that. Like,
Yeah, I was about to say, I wouldn't just leave my kid.
it could be a bear, man. Like, what are you doing?
Why did I have to tell that stupid story?
Got some ADR work there. Nice. I don't think it'd be quite in that good a condition.
Right. Oh yeah. It's so good.
Is Jason about to kill this kid?
Take out your knife, Billy.
That... So the mask and the jacket are definitely from remake Jason.
100%. Yeah. Even like the hair and stuff, I would even say is part of that. You said this one was 20.
It's 20 minutes, yeah.
20 minutes.
But once again, that is with credits and everything, so.
Right.
Well, you know it's going to be fun when they start off with a decapitation.
Yeah.
And bro, that jacket that he's wearing, like if you
told you, I ain't seen no father and son.
Please, just
The hell
take
was
a look at
that?
the photo. I've been tracking these woods for days and I've got nothing.
Listen, we don't
Are they
get
trying to
many
make
people
Jason
around
like
here
take
anymore.
place in like
Those woods you talk
Britain
about
or something?
Dangerous. No place for
Probably
sexy
not.
girls
It's
like
probably
you.
just, you know,
tourists, I guess.
Home.
no,
if I
probably
were
just
you.
fans from
Okay,
overseas
well,
making their.
or maybe you can tell me where that road leads
You know what
to
I mean?
out there. I can't seem to find any of the maps.
Yeah.
You got to remember,
ain't on no
the
map.
Evil
Take my
Emerges,
advice.
Michael versus Jason was like that.
Go home. These woods
Now
are
the
not
accents
much.
weren't as
Come on.
thick,
Anybody
but you could definitely tell that it was
they're tuned.
done
Are you listening
overseas.
to me, boy? Can you get down, you fuckhead?
Well, thanks for nothing.
That dude is. I don't.
No, it said 3 months later, Russell.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that
Fucking
guy.
city boys. You ain't welcome around here.
Like, something about his acting is
Just you and me, Kathleen.
I don't know. It's just not. I don't want. I don't know. I don't know. Just I'm not on board for that. Yeah, that's right. That's right side drive. Like you see in the car, it's right hand drive.
Yeah, but I mean, you can look at the license plate too. But I think it's just more of, you know, if you're making a fan film, Friday the 13th, and you live overseas, you know what it would be to cost to get a car that looks right. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
sometimes
I
you
get
just kind of have to.
I
suspend-
appreciate it. I just like when I hear it, I'm like,
People think.
what is with
come
this guy?
around here like it's a fucking walk in the park.
I don't like this guy.
Asking stupid questions.
Like, who's he
this
talking
person?
to?
Where's that person? There's only one answer.
Please kill this guy already.
Who's there?
Gee, I wonder what that X is going to be used for.
Now, where the fuck's that gone?
Villains. New Jersey original. I appreciate that. I'm glad he's dead. Jason, I wasn't going to say it, but like, with that one person specifically, yes. Paula, I don't think it was made in Australia. I think this kind of sounds
almost Irish.
Irish? I was going to say like England or Great Britain, maybe. I don't know. Hold on.
Well, maybe Paula would have some insight to this. She is saying that she is Irish. Does that sound like an Irish type of accent, Paula, or am I off on that one?
United Kingdom.
Oh, it is UK? Okay.
Visually, they've got their like camera work down. Looks
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Audio's even been pretty good so far. Locations are down point too. Is that the kid? Sounded like the kid.
I think Billy's been out there the whole time. Jason's a tagger.
Val, that's actually what he wore. If you watch the 09 remake, it was like 2 jackets sewn together. If you try to get that, they're really expensive. Like people who remake those, like screen accurate ones, they're very expensive.
Billy?
It looks like him.
Billy.
Billy?
Check for money at least. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Fantastic.
I gotta figure like all the scent would be.
Billy!
I don't think it's actually Billy. That was nice.
Yeah.
I'm no expert, but I feel like going out into the woods on a search mission, you might not want to wear like skinny jeans.
Jesus, I don't want any trouble, man.
Are you lost, my friend? You shouldn't be alone in these woods. They're not safe.
I'm trying to find my brother and nephew. They went missing a few months back.
If they went missing in these woods, I'm afraid you're not going to see him again. Alive, anyway.
Well, I can't just give up. The cops aren't interested. They're a waste of time.
Dude, you have an AK?
It looks like an AK.
You won't get any help from them.
That's an AK,
They
yeah.
want nothing to do with this place. These woods, there's something in them. A hunter. A while back,
How about you maintain
killed a
some
bunch
muzzle
of my friends.
discipline, my
He left
friend,
me for dead.
and not be
Been
pointing it at
searching
him?
for the son of a bitch ever since.
You should check them huts a few miles back.
Huts? What huts?
There's some kind of huts back there, sleeping bags on the floor. There's definitely somebody living there. Some freaky shit going on. I swear I saw some kind of severed head or something.
That sounds like the same son of a bitch. You heard of Jason Voorhees?
No.
He stalks these woods. His weapon of choice is a machete, but he'll use his bare hands if he needs to. And he wears a hockey mask.
Jesus.
Yes.
See, I need more of a reaction there. Like, I need some yelling. I need some what the fuck. Like, give me something.
If I'm him, I'm doing a big ass circle and coming back with that AK.
You know, but I'm also screaming my head off. Like, that's my thing about the acting in this. It's like, there's like almost no reaction to this dude's heart being ripped out in front of him. feel like the Jason needs to be a little bit taller too.
Oh no.
Good.
Oh, he did a circle.
Billy?
Is that really Billy?
Oh my God, Billy! I can't believe I found you. Where's your dad? Where's your dad, Billy? It doesn't matter. I'm just glad I found you. We need to get out of here. Everything's going to be okay. I promise.
Oh. Did he just kill him? Is Billy like Jason's kid now?
See the outfit? Billy's outfit.
Oh shit. It's like Lydia. That's a good twist. See, like, there was no reaction there.
Billy, no. Please. No.
What's up, DJ?
What's going on, DJ Plays Favorites?
So let me just say one thing. When I said I had seen this before, I think I made it up to the credits because I don't remember that second half, with him looking for them. So I feel like maybe I watched the opening sequence and that's all I watched of that one. I don't think that I saw all that other stuff that was afterwards, like the hunting and Billy.
Mhm. Okay.
I don't remember that. One thing I did notice after he stabbed him though was his outfit. I'm like, wait a minute, he's got the overalls and the checkered plaid on.
I didn't notice that until you mentioned it too. But I'm going to be honest. Story-wise, cinematically, it was good. Like they did really good with the story, really good visually. Audio was mostly good. Some of the sound effects I could have used a little bit more. Like the machete hacks there at the end. Like when Billy was like, there just wasn't enough there.
Mm-hmm.
The acting in this one is what took away a little bit for me. Like it was a little flat. Like there was a lot of non-reactions to some very big things happening. Like he gets stabbed by Billy and you forget about him. Like after Billy stabs that dude, like honestly, during his entire interaction with Jason, you forget about that character, even though he's still alive, laying there, just being stabbed. And it was like one stab to the stomach. Like, make some noise. Like, if you're not running, at least make it seem like you can't run. Like, give me some screams, give me some discomfort feeling sounds. Like, because when it popped back down to him, I'm like, oh, he's still alive. Okay. So the acting in this one took away from it a little bit for me. They still did a great job. Like I said, the story was awesome. Some of the dialogue too. Like some of the dialogue, especially what I assume was supposed to be the Harbinger. The dude who was just aggressive, talking through his teeth like this the whole time.
Yeah, he was a little aggravated.
Yeah, but there was like no reason for it. Like the dude's like, hey, my brother and nephew have gone missing. Why are you in these woods? Nobody comes to these woods. Like, Like, come on, it's not real. And I know it's a movie; it's not supposed to be real. But even the harbinger of doom, like, let's go back to Crazy Ralph. Crazy Ralph was never like that. Crazy Ralph was never angry. He was,
crazy.
yeah, he was crazy. He was fun. Like that dude, I'm just like, God, I just want him to die. So some of the acting, some of the dialogue were the negatives for me, but all the other stuff, like, and the opening credits too, like that credit sequence, really good. What about you? What do you think, man?
Story was solid. It was different. We talked about this on the last, we talked about this tonight. Bringing something different. I mean, who saw Sackhead Billy coming? I mean, I didn't. We mentioned at the beginning, you said, I wonder what that sack's going to be used for. I totally forgot about that until, I noticed that what he was wearing. And I was like, hey, look what he's wearing. And he puts a sack on. It's like, I remember that sack when he took Billy's knife out. Right. Some of the things, yeah, these are kind of tough. I don't know, how many films these guys have made. I don't know what their access was to actors. Could have been friends and family, for all I know. So, not really holding that too much against them. There were some things. Jason, it's always tough. With Jason to get that look
hair.
right, to get that Jason screen presence right. You know what I mean? I think if this was one of their, early films, maybe one of their first, I applaud them, for what they did. Kind of hoping that AK came into use a little more. I feel like that character that came in with an AK, I figured he was going to have a bigger impact than he did, being strapped the way he was. But he was kind of a throwaway character.
He was cannon fodder.
More so. And I get that. I saw what they were going for. Was I entertained? Yes. Were there some issues? Of course there are. But overall, I had a good time watching it, and I think they did a good job, man. Especially, it's always cool to see people take their shot at Friday the 13th. And this wasn't a typical shot that we saw. It wasn't. It was. You said it was in the UK. Right. So they're making it over in the UK, dude. To me, that's so cool. Like, yeah, it's going to be a little bit different. And I get that. But man, the love for it's there, dude. And I could tell that there was a love for Jason. They worked in Pamela's head. Well done. You know what I mean? And yeah, there could be things that were better. I do agree with that. But overall, it was a good time, man. It was a fun watch. And yeah, 100%.
It was definitely a fun watch. We've talked about this extensively before, and you bringing up, because I know we're both a big fan of the look of remake Jason, and that's obviously what this was based on. And you always bring up the thing you don't like most about remake Jason is the wisps of hair.
I don't. Yeah.
And I've never considered it. Never. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'd never really minded.
Yeah.
For some reason, in this one, I'm like, man, that hair just needs to go away. Like, I just need for that hair to not be there, and that would elevate this significantly. Yeah. And so until now, I haven't really cared either way. But now I'm like, I'm on your side. Like, I feel like there was more hair on the under mask, the hood in this one.
Yeah.
And if I had to make a recommendation on the appearance of Jason, because overall it was great. The hood was really clean. Did you notice that?
I did.
Like,
yes.
His shirt was very dingy. The mask was really weathered. Like, the clothes were really dingy, but his head was like the hood, which is his head. For those of you who don't know, and I mean, this might be common knowledge, but just in case, the hood is what is actually worn by the actor over their head to give it the misshapen look, and then the mask sits on top of the hood. So what you're seeing as their head is actually usually a latex or a silicone hood or an appliance. It was just really clean, and I'm like, I feel like that was a little distracting for me too, because I'm like, Jason looks like a cue ball,
Yeah.
But he's also got this clean, like the long strands of hair. Excuse me. I don't want to sound like I'm knocking this, because it was good. Like, it was. Yeah. You're absolutely right. I was entertained the whole time. I was like, okay, what's gonna happen? And going back to the UK thing, I also love that they didn't let that stop them. Yeah. Because there's plenty of people who would be like, man, we can't, everyone knows Crystal Lake is in the U.S. and we can't get there to shoot this. Like, and I'm glad they didn't let that stop them.
Yeah.
So once again, though, man, the thing that got me the most in the negative way was that Harbinger. He just, I couldn't do it, man. I could not do it. It got me.
Yeah. He needed to go, and he went. You know what I mean?
He did go. He went. I'm trying to think. How did he go again?
He took the axe to the stomach. He went to take a piss. He dropped the axe.
Yeah.
Turned around. The axe was gone.
Sorry, let's see here. I'm gonna throw up a poll here. I want to know what y'all think. And we're gonna do out of 5 stars. What did y'all think of the of this fan film? Because I'm curious to know. Like, people have different thoughts on it. I thought it was good. It was definitely entertaining.
If I had to stay with whole numbers and I couldn't give like a point something, I'd probably give it 3 out of 5. That's probably where I'd go with it.
I think a 3 out of 5 is definitely a commendable ranking. They didn't do bad, man. I don't want to, like I said, bringing up the things I think can be improved. I hope that doesn't ever come across like I'm dogging on the film. I'm not. I truly appreciate the work and everything that went into it. I'm just, constructive, trying to be constructive with my criticism, and I'm learning a lot. Like, okay, like with that last one, for instance, with the Michael one, the little things I noticed, like, okay, when I go to make a fan film, I want to realize that. Like when I said it after the first kill, Michael killed the first guy, the camera stayed on Michael. And when I was watching, I'm like, man, I feel like it was just like 2 or 3 beats too long that it stayed on Michael. It could have cut. So I'm learning from these things because that's, those are things I need to know for making a fan film. So that it's really fun. And the story, man, going back to that, I definitely wasn't expecting Sackhead Billy.
Yeah, I mean, story-wise for this, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. 100%, man. Like, it was interesting and different. It's like Jason took on him a little project, a little, sidekick, man.
And that visual of them walking in slow motion, like, that was fucking cool.
It was.
You cannot deny how cool that was.
Yeah.
So, looks like the poll, not unanimous, but the overwhelming majority are at 3 stars. And it was worthy of that. I think it was worthy of that. It was pretty good. We've got one more to watch tonight. And this is called by a channel called Tunnel Light Studios. Came out a couple months ago. It's called The Dream Rider, a Nightmare on Elm Street fan film. I have, as most of these, not seen it before. I saw it. I thought it looked interesting. It's fairly short. I think it's the shortest one of the night. It is 6 minutes and 43 seconds. And now that presents a challenge all on its own, like telling a story in 6 minutes and 43 seconds.
Oh, this is only 6 minutes and 43 seconds?
It's only, and I'm assuming that includes some kind of credits.
Interesting.
So it's a Friday or a Nightmare on Elm Street fan film. That is only 6, I'm assuming around 5 minutes of actual story. But as we saw with the Coleman brothers, you can make a 5 minute, 6 minute fan film that looks amazing. Because they're Texas Chainsaw, man. I still can't get over that thing. It was so good.
I know. It was great. It was really good.
So it can be done. It can be done. I'm excited to see see how they do here. I would say, of the major franchises, the one we watched the least of is Freddy.
And I would think that that would be the hardest one to do.
We've discussed this before. Freddy is so specific.
Yeah.
Obviously, we did watch the last stream of Detective Coleman, and that dude was still, he wasn't Freddy yet. He was still Fred Krueger, you know? And I
Yeah.
think I think it's obvious that there's a difference, but obviously he killed it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how this one's going to go. I don't know if this is still Fred Krueger or if this is full on already made the deal with the Dream Demons.
And then we also, when we were watching the slasher verse, Freddy made an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, this is definitely, you know, we've seen Freddy a few times, and each time I think he would be the one that would be critiqued the most out of all, you know, out of the big three that I usually talk about. Michael.
Well,
Fred,
he's the
Jason.
only one who talks.
He's the only one that not only do you have to get the look down, you have to get that charisma down. You know, that thing that makes Freddy Freddy. You know, where you have Jason and Michael, you know, it's based off of movements and things like that, and you know, certain looks and certain ways that the character makes their kills and does their movements. Where Freddy, not only is it movements, not only is it look, but is that presence that Freddy brings to A Nightmare on Elm Street. So definitely hard to do, and I'm curious to see, you know, how they do it in this.
Yeah, and who knows? This could be, you know, it could be something where you don't see him a lot. And I commend those people who. I think there would be a lot of people who don't make a Friday or a Nightmare fan film who want to, because of how difficult Freddy is to get right.
Yeah, I'm not touching it.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Like, it would be so hard. Like, it would be so hard to, you got it, because even just the look of Freddy, I think, is harder than any other of the major, not just the big three, but like the major, I would say like the major five, because with most of them, Ghostface, Jason, Michael, Leatherface, you just get a mask. Like, you can improve that mask in different ways, but most of them you can go on Amazon and buy a mask.
Yeah.
With Freddy, you got to do prosthetics. Like, even if it's a cheap one you get online and put on them, you're going to notice that. Like, it's not going to look the best.
Yeah.
You're going to notice that. So if you really want Freddy to look good, you're going to have to put some work in so that it fits them right. It's whoever's playing Freddy fits their face right. It's like not glued down to them, but it's on there in a way where when they talk, that it moves properly. You don't see you don't see them moving underneath the mask. So Freddy's just hard to do.
Yeah.
And like I said, I believe Freddy's the person we see the least of the ones we've
100%.
watched. Like, we haven't.
100%.
Obviously, I think the person we see the least of, period, is Chucky. But
that's coming soon.
Yeah. I was looking at Charles. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, should I do Charles? Like, because we've talked about it, but I didn't know.
Yeah, we'll talk about it backstage. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so and I'm looking at a bunch of others, but like, of the ones we've talked about so far, I feel like Freddy's definitely the lowest appearing. So yeah, we're gonna jump into this. Like I said, it's called The Dream Rider, which I think is a great title too. Let's just go ahead and throw that out there. It's the title of a movie it's important.
Yeah.
If something is titled something dumb, then you're gonna have preconceived notions about it. Like when Scream 5 was just titled Scream, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, that's dumb. Why would you do that? Like, we already have Scream. We don't need Scream again. But
Scream
that's neither here
some
nor there.
more.
Script. As I said, though, this is called The Dream Rider, a Nightmare on Elm Street fan film. As always, let me know how the volume is. We only got about 5 minutes of story in this one, so.
All right.
Is all that we see or seem a dream within a dream? Edgar Allan Poe.
It's kind of how that slasher verse episode started out. See the dream catchers in the back.
I didn't notice that. No. Where?
It was there. It is. See to the left.
Is that a
Big-
dream catcher?
A big dream catcher.
I don't think it's a dream catcher. I
No?
think that's just like a. No, I think it's just like a wall sculpture, like deco thing with a tree in front of it, or like a bush, a plant.
I saw a dream catcher. I don't know.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Jerry, hey, what's wrong? Think I fell asleep and was gonna miss the deadline? Yeah, my book really appreciates these late night calls. Makes them feel special. You were the one that negotiated this almost impossible deadline. No, it's fine. I'm on it. I'm almost finished. This thing practically writes itself.
Oh.
I see
Oh,
it.
that's cool. That's really cool.
But you want my advice?
You hear the music
Wait,
score in the back
stop being
too?
the deadline,
I
please,
do.
and let me finish writing this book. Mhm. Yeah.
Russell's saying it was a dream catcher too. I don't know. Like I didn't see a big
Talk to you
dream
later.
catcher because they're in the kitchen.
Bye.
I don't think a dream catcher would make sense in a kitchen, you know? Oh, that was cool.
It felt very like OG Nightmare.
Mhm.
There's nothing there. Idiot.
I think as opposed to that though, like yeah,
Yeah,
that's a dream catcher.
No, man, that's like there's a bush. Like you see the plant in front of it. Like there's a plant sitting in front of it. There's not a dream catcher there. That's just like a metal wall art thing. Yeah, you see that?
My mind is seeing Dreamcast. I could be wrong.
I understand the imagery, but like yeah, that's a plant. You see the plant sitting there?
Maybe a plant with a clock behind it.
I don't think it's a clock. I think it's just like a metal wire like wall art thing.
Somebody help me!
The scene's being written. Oh. Oh.
I was like, why is she not bleeding? You know, then it happened.
It was so we got 5 minutes and 50, roughly 6 minutes of actual story. They did so much
Yeah.
with 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, that was not a dream catcher.
Hold on. I'll agree, just so it's like, okay. Like, I don't feel like we have enough to really, say whether it was or not. It's definitely the imagery that was put into my head, but
Yeah,
at the end of the day, I could see it being something different. They did all of that with storytelling. You know what I mean? Like, that was fantastic. Like, it was
Yeah.
unique, it was different.
And they didn't
the
put a
boss
lot of
was
Freddy in there because
Yeah.
it's hard to do, but you got just enough of him.
You got enough to know what was going on.
You definitely did.
To get that feeling. Like, it felt very Nightmare on Elm Street. The way the music played into it, the creative storyline of the story writing itself. Like, it was, what was it called again? The Dream Writer.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it lived right. It lived up to its title name. It was fantastic. 5 minutes, basically 5:50, I think we said.
Yeah.
Great job. 100%.
Bro, I think you're right. I think it is a clock.
We'll
Hold
see
on.
the Roman numerals around it.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. Like, so if we I'm gonna we go full screen here, and I'm gonna. Is it really not gonna let me zoom in on the video or on the video itself? But yeah, like that definitely looks like a 10, which would be 10 o'clock. That's a VI for 11, VII for 12, then a 1, a 2. I think that's a clock, but that's definitely a plant. Like, that's not feathers or anything. That's a clock of some sort. Yeah, that's not a dream catcher. That's a clock. You were right. You were right when you called clock.
But either way, I don't want it to take away from the story of what they did here, man. That's how you make a 5-minute movie.
Like, when I first saw when she first got up talking to her publicist and you see the keys typing, I'm like,
yeah,
that's clever.
Mhm.
That's clever. Because it's called the Dream Writer. So, man, they did such a good job with that. Like, that's
good.
in what we were talking about before we started. Freddy is hard to do, but getting the feeling, getting the atmosphere of a nightmare film isn't. And they did that. They did that perfectly.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's tough to do. They did it, man, in spades. Well done.
Mm-hmm. And I love how they had the laundry room area. Like, that was kind of like your boiler room. That's where you see him, like, his shadow sneak off to.
Yeah.
Like,
It
yeah,
was
they
lit
did.
up behind it. Yeah.
And you had what, 2 actors in this? That's all you had. Because you had someone playing Freddy, and then you had her.
Yeah.
Because we didn't even hear anyone on the other side of the phone.
No.
Bro, that was nice.
Yeah.
That was good. I'm really surprised for that one. That one's, I think it's probably my second favorite of the 3 we watched tonight.
Yeah, Halloween was definitely the number one for me tonight.
Thorn stood out. Those kills in Thorn was great.
Yeah. They did talk a little bit about the lighting towards the beginning. I do wish it was a little lighter. I do like Michael in the dark, however. But other than that, that's nitpicky, for me. It was definitely a fun watch. All 3 of them were fun for me to watch tonight. But I think if I had to rank them, and like say we were ranking them, I would say that, Friday was 3, Nightmare was 2, and Halloween was 1 tonight.
Yeah, and I like this spread. Like, when I was looking for ones to watch tonight,
Yeah.
There were a couple that were longer, but when I jumped through, to look at the quality, I wasn't as, blown away by the quality of a couple of the longer ones. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna do a couple shorter ones. And I was like, oh, this Freddy one looks good in terms of quality, but it's only 6 minutes.
Right.
All right, well, this one's 10, and I'm like, oh, well, this one's like 20. So I'm like, that works out to be a pretty good mix. And I like getting multiple of the big slashers on there.
Yeah.
So
hell yeah, man.
Yeah, this was fun. This is another good Tuesday night.
Yeah, dude. 100%, man. 100%. Like it's fun that you put in, we got 3 different movies,
Very different.
And that's a blast, man. That's definitely a blast.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're gonna, probably start wrapping up here before we get going. You got anything on your channel coming out this week you want to plug?
Yeah, sure. So Friday, I will be back on my channel Friday at 8 p.m. I've got a little bit of horror news to talk about. We have another Nuke's Top 5 to go through, or another video from Nuke's Top 5. I believe that it is the 10 best paranormal videos from 2023.
Bro, on that last one, when that thing popped out from under that bed, you jumped so high. Like
Jesus.
It got you. You're like, it was fake, but it got me, bro. You jumped so high.
It was the reaction to it just happening. I believe that I immediately said it was fake, but it got me. You know what I mean? Because
immediately say
when it came out, it was the act that got me to jump. But looking at it closely, it's like, oh, it's not real. You know what I mean? But that was the only one that really popped me back out of the ones that we watched. Usually with Nuke's Top 5, it's a lot of paranormal stuff, and I've looked at their stuff in the past for doing my real or fake on my Patreon. So that's how I found out about Nuke's Top 5. I then researched them a little bit, and I see that there are some channels that go through and talk about Nuke's Top 5 stuff. So I knew that they were okay with that happening and people reacting to it. So I was like, man, they've got a ton of videos. If the people like what we're doing on these Fridays, I'll start reacting to these and talking about it, because I feel like my channel doesn't do enough for the paranormal fans. So I wanted to jump in that as well. And to me, it was a success last Friday. I got a lot of messages and comments from people that enjoyed it and wanted to do more. So Nuke's Top 5 will definitely be back Friday, where I'm going to do another video along with a little bit of horror news. And yeah, that's what I'll be doing Friday. No show Sunday for the simple fact that it is the Super Bowl. But I guarantee the week after that, Mad Matt will be back on the channel and we'll get into some horror remakes. I do apologize for last weekend, some things outside of my control that I was not able to do anything about popped up last weekend. That's why there was no show on Sunday or Monday. But we are back in the saddle Friday and moving forward. Got some good stuff coming up. And I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. We will always also this Saturday, episode 2 of our podcast, which if y'all want to check it out, feel free. Like I said, it's not horror, but we're just having a good time with it.
Yeah.
And I do honestly, I forgot the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl this coming Sunday. I was like, oh, that's gonna be. I thought that was like another week away, but
yeah, it is the Super Bowl.
It is the Super Bowl. It's the Chiefs' next victory.
I honestly don't like either team. So it's more about commercials for me, to be honest. I could really care. Like, I'm a Bengals fan. So, the 49ers beat us in the Super Bowl twice, and our biggest rival of late has been the Chiefs. So, yeah,
I think everyone's biggest rival as of late has been the Chiefs.
I'll tell you what, though, and this might be a hot take. If you're talking NFL, I think Joe has Patrick's number. Joe doesn't have everybody's number, but I think Joe, he's beaten Patrick more than Patrick's beaten him. Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, okay.
Joe Burr. We'll be back next year, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Joe Burrow's a great quarterback. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. He's a really cool dude. But Chiefs have gone to 4 of the last 5 AFC championships.
Yeah, but until the prodigal son returns, this is going to keep happening. You know, Brady kept a balance, people. Brady kept a balance. At 44, he was still beating Patrick Mahomes. So there's nothing wrong with being second best.
I think Patrick Mahomes, first of all, I think Patrick Mahomes is, by the time he's done, is going to rival Brady in the conversation of greatest of all time.
He can't. Brady's beaten him twice head to head and beat him for a Super Bowl. It'll never happen.
So?
Never. When it comes down to those two, the argument will always come up. Well, if you put these two head to head, oh wait, we did, and Brady came out on top every time.
I don't think that's how the conversation will go. I think the conversation will be like there's still debate over Peyton and Brady.
No, there isn't.
We're
still having that debate. Brady put him out of the playoffs so many times, it's not even funny. Like, Peyton is not in that conversation. Peyton has what? How many Super Bowls? And he had Rodney Harrison his whole life, or Marvin Harrison his whole career. Name one top receiver that Brady had that can rival him. You can't. He had Randy Moss in 2008. That's it.
He had tight ends, though. Like, Brady had tight ends that were just
made
fucking amazing.
Those teams. Like, Brady made Julian Edelman's, Danny Amendola's. You think that anytime they went anywhere else, look at Wes Welker. He went to Denver and died. There are things that Brady did to. You look at Mahomes. He's got Travis Kelce. He had what's his name? The Cheetah. The Cheetah is the best wide receiver. The best wide receiver in all of football, bar none right now.
He doesn't have him anymore?
Game changer. No, he's not. But I mean, where's the competition for Mahomes right now? You got Josh Allen, who just can't get over the hump. You know what I mean? I think Josh Allen's a great quarterback. And I don't want to make this about the NFL because I can go for a long time. Julian Edelman is a great, just that conversation. I love the Patriots, Paula. I absolutely do. Julian Edelman was a quarterback in college. They made Julian Edelman what Julian Edelman is. He practiced with Brady nonstop. Gronk, very good. One of the best tight ends of all time, but injury prone. Like, there are multiple Super Bowls where Gronk just wasn't there because he was hurt. He wasn't in the Atlanta Super Bowl, where they came back. What was it? At the end of the third quarter, it was
like 28-3 or something like that.
I mean, come on, man. Freaking crazy. Look at Val. Michael is fangirling. Hey, look, I can do this all day. I could do that.
Well, here's the
day.
thing. Like, I think, you know what? I think by the end of it, I'll say this. You can deny the debate between Brady and Mahomes, which is better. You can deny it all you want. Here's the thing. Brady retired at 45 with 7 rings.
Yeah, 45.
He retired
7 rings, 9 appearances.
7 rings,
10
9
appearances. 10 appearances.
Okay, so appearances, cool. Rings is what matters.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes is 28. He's already got 2.
Yep.
He's going for his 3rd next Sunday.
Yep.
So even if he could take, a year, every other year off, he'll still beat Brady in rings.
Brady had 3 in his first 4 years.
How long has Mahomes been in the
6?
Wait, you said 3 in his first 4 years.
Yeah.
As starter or his first 4 years in the league?
Yep.
Because he didn't start immediately.
No, he came in when Bledsoe got hurt, and then Brady took him to the Super Bowl and won. They beat the Rams.
Yeah, but he didn't start his first year.
He didn't start the year, but he finished it.
Okay. So he had 3 his first 4 years?
Yes.
Okay. How long has Mahomes been in the
6?
Cool.
And he's got 2.
6, he's got 2. He'll have 3 by the end. I have 0 doubts that they're gonna beat the 49ers.
I had 0 doubts. I had 0 doubts the Lions were gonna lose. Or I thought the Lions were gonna be there 100%
to beat the Chiefs.
I really did. I did. Yes. No, I thought the Lions were gonna beat the 49ers.
Oh. Yeah. You know what, man? I have zero doubts the Chiefs are gonna win the Super Bowl. I could be wrong, but
You
if I
mean
was
zero doubts that they're going to lose the Super Bowl?
no, the Chiefs are gonna win.
Zero doubt. Okay. For some reason, the wording kind of messed me up there. I think it's better for the NFL and the Swiftie fans if Mahomes wins. You know, that'll put the perfect Travis Kelce. I heard that Travis Kelce was talking about retirement soon too. I know his brother retired this year.
I don't think Jason's officially announced his retirement. People have said he's retiring. Jason has not said he's retiring.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he had significant injuries, like knee injuries, when he came in. Like he's already 34. I think he's 34. So he's not. I mean, he's not a young buck. I mean,
right.
And he's not like a quarterback where they can last into their mid 40s because they don't get hit often. Because I mean, at the end of the day, he's not a wide receiver. He's a tight end, so he's blocking most of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I just think at 28, he's got fucking 17 years left if he retires at the same age as Brady, and he needs after this Sunday he'll need 4 more rings.
I mean, dude, we don't know what's going to happen Sunday. You know what I mean? Like,
we don't. Let's say he does lose.
For Brady to play as long as he played is unheard of. You know what I mean? Do you know what Patrick Mahomes would have to do to play that long? Like, we watched him break down 2 or 3 times this season, crying and screaming about the NFL rules, you know, saying that an offsides call was bullshit because it shouldn't be in the NFL. It's like, dude, it's a rule that you know of. Like, I don't know. That's very premature to be talking like that. But, you know, with that, you know, with what I've seen, you know, it's like, dude, I've watched him unravel more than once this season. You know, and you never saw that, you know, with
you saw that with Brady.
You never saw him unravel and go to the press and cry about NFL rules after a game. You watched him get pissed during the game and scream.
Oh yeah, I was about to say I saw him.
That's what
on
you
the
do.
side. He was doing the exact same thing as Mahomes. He just did it on the sideline.
You don't do that like carrying yourself and crying at the end of a game about rules that have been in place forever, saying that it's stupid and that's why you lost. Is like, come on, man. Like,
that's
seriously.
See, for me, that's not going to come up in the conversation of, okay, well, this guy's better because he didn't complain. Like, that's not going to, for me, that's not going to come up in the GOAT conversation. But say you're right. He doesn't last as long as Brady. Brady lasts to 45. Let's say he only lasts till 40. That's 12 years, 12 more years. If he wins once every 3 years, he'll still tie Brady.
And lost the head-to-head. That head-to-head's going to be there. You think they won't use that for a GOAT conversation?
Oh, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Brady put him the 2 years that, you know, he didn't get into the playoffs or didn't get into the Super Bowl or lost the Super Bowl. Brady put him out both times.
Yeah, cool. I don't care.
That'll come into GOAT conversation.
There are plenty of people Peyton Manning has put Tom Brady out of the Super Bowl. Does that mean Peyton Manning's better?
Once?
Doesn't matter.
It does when Brady's put him out like 8 times. I mean, law of averages.
If that's the only thing you can say is that Tom Brady beat him twice.
But didn't you say rings matter?
Rings do matter. I'm assuming
I'm talking about Peyton. We're talking about Peyton and Brady now, right?
Yeah. Well, no. I'm talking. I'm just using that as an example because that seems to be where you're going. Is that's going to come up? And I mean, there's already.
I mean, what did Seattle do to Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl?
Oh, they shut the Broncos down.
I mean, it was ridiculous. Like, I believe that's the first game I turned off at halftime. Like, I'm done. Like, this is bad.
Yeah.
And that'll come up too in GOAT conversations. You know what I mean?
I mean, I could bring up the fact that one of, speaking of Seattle, you want to bring up one of Tom Brady's rings is a fluke.
Yeah, but 2 of them that he lost are flukes too. You want to talk about the catch from David Tyree that stuck in his ear hole when Eli Manning ran around in circles and chucked it up? Eli Manning had no idea where he was throwing that ball.
That doesn't matter. That's not a fluke. A fluke to me is a call, like something that happens that was intended to happen. Like that throw.
That wasn't a fluke. That might be in the top 5 flukes of all time in the NFL. That David Tyree catch in the ear hole? Like, get out of here. He was sacked like 4 times and just blindly threw it up in the air.
Okay, so when you say, I think you're misleading when you say it's stuck in his ear hole. Like it was,
totally. Yeah, totally.
Like it wasn't stuck there. He had nothing to do with it. He caught it. And if you want to say the same thing, let's talk about fucking Julian Edelman during the season catching passes in his crotch. Like, I understand the love and the fangirling for Brady. Believe me, I've had to deal with it at work for so long.
And now everybody does it for Mahomes. You know what I mean?
See, for me, first of all, I don't think people fangirl about Mahomes nearly as much as they do about Brady.
Because he hasn't been there as long. He hasn't been doing it as long.
Exactly. But I also think that, for me, I wasn't around when Brady started. Like, beginning of his career, I didn't give a shit.
I was in the military.
I didn't care. I caught at the end, by the time it was already too much, like it was already overblown, and I didn't care. So, But with Mahomes, I've witnessed Mahomes from his rookie season to where he is now. And I'm like, I think Mahomes by the end of his career he'll be in the conversation for top 5 quarterbacks of all time.
I believe that. I do.
Maybe even top 3.
I could agree with that.
I think it'll come down, and I think there will be, even though you don't agree with it, there will be a what's the word I'm looking for? Not legitimate, but kind of like legitimate. There will be a
conversation.
There will be a basis for him being called the GOAT.
I think that it's too, like they were calling him the GOAT like his second year.
And
that was ridiculous. Those conversations. It's like GOAT. I think people use the word GOAT and don't. I think that it's overused. You know, when you call someone the GOAT, you're calling them the greatest of all time. That's what GOAT stands for. And then, you know, when Mahomes come out, they're like, he's the baby GOAT. That makes 0 sense to me whatsoever.
No, it doesn't.
There's only one GOAT. You know what I mean? And there's debates in every sport. You know, you could look at the NBA.
Except for hockey. There's no debate in hockey.
You look at that, right? You look at you look at the NBA. You know, it's always Jordan and LeBron. Those are the arguments. You know what I mean?
think there should be more in there, honestly.
Well, you could look at Bill Russell. How many rings did Bill Russell have? But, you know, he had 11 NBA rings? I mean, that's crazy. Who's touching that? Nobody. Nobody's touching that. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. You know, Russell's talking about, you know, the Super Bowl that the Seahawks could have won, but missed that field. Well, actually, they threw an interception.
Yeah, and that's the exact one I was talking about. Everyone knows that was a fluke. It was
nobody talks about the fluke catch that got them down there.
What do you mean a fluke catch?
Yeah, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Nobody talks about that. You know, that bomb that Russell Wilson threw that bounced off of 3 players where who was the wide receiver laying on the ground and it landed in his hands to get him down there on 3rd down. Nobody talks about that. Should they have run with Marshawn Lynch to get that in there? Yes.
I think we have a different idea of fluke. For me, a fluke is something that happens that was intended to happen, but was wrong. Like a fluke is not an accident for me. Like I would 1000% call that an accident. That's like a Hail Mary. Like a Hail Mary to me is not a fluke. A fluke is when the opposing team calls a play that they shouldn't have called and it works against them. Like from my perspective, that's what a fluke is. Because literally everyone in the world who watches NFL knows they should not have thrown it who was it, Malcolm Butler? They intercepted it.
Yep.
Like they should not have thrown it at all, but specifically to that person. Like
Well, I mean, you had Marshawn Lynch. It was second down.
That's what I'm saying. It's a fluke.
I just call that a bad decision. Like I don't see it being a fluke. I see it being a bad decision made by Pete Carroll. You know,
in the annals of history, that they did not hand that to Marshawn Lynch, and nothing that Pete Carroll will ever do in the rest of his career will live down not giving that ball to beast mode and winning that Super Bowl.
True. I mean, you know, the game is won by coaches' decisions, won or lost.
Yeah.
He made a bad decision. I really don't see that as a fluke. I think like you're an idiot. Like, why did you not run the ball? You threw it like you got in your head so much they're going to be expecting runs, so I'm going to surprise them with a pass. You know, everybody knew beast mode was getting the ball. Everybody knew.
Still couldn't have stopped it. That's the thing. Like, look at the Eagles with the tush push. What is it, like a 92% success rating?
Yeah.
And you know it's coming every single time, to a point where the NFL is trying to come up with a rule to prevent that play. It is so successful.
That goes back as far as Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush at USC. You know,
it's just, you even though everyone knew beast mode was going to get the ball.
And I think that's where Pete Carroll got in his head. Like, holy shit. Like, everybody knows.
Bro, it was fucking, what was it, second down?
Yeah, it was.
So they could
I'm
have tried it.
90% sure it was second down.
I'm pretty sure it was second down. They could have run it, failed, run it again, failed, and still had a fourth down pass to go to.
They could have. Yeah, they could have.
So that's why I'm saying it is a fluke. That
football is a game of inches.
Bro,
I see a fluke as something. I don't see a fluke as a bad decision being made. I see it as something happening that wasn't intended to happen.
See, I see that as like an accident.
Very low probability of happening. You know what I mean? Like Mario, or what was it, Manningham on the Giants, that catch. You know, the unbelievable catch in the 2011 Super Bowl against the Giants. The Patriots lost. Unfreaking believable. What's his name? In the Atlanta Super Bowl, Julio Jones's catch.
Bro, if that's the case, then like OBJ would be like a fluke in himself, because like every catch he has, it would be
unbelievable. That to me, you do it more than, you know, 2 times. It just becomes, you know,
see, to me,
Julian Edelman's catch now against Atlanta. How many times is that going to happen? That had to bounce off of somebody's leg. Otherwise, that was incomplete.
Happened multiple times. I've seen that happen. Maybe not bounce off someone else's leg, but like they're going down. I mean, there was one catch, I forget who it was, but like the dude was in the end zone, thought it was an incomplete. He himself thought it was an incomplete, but they went back and reviewed it, and like, no, the ball never touched the ground. It was a touchdown. So like, but for me, that's not a fluke. Like, that was, what was the intended purpose? For the quarterback to throw the ball and him to catch it. That was the intent, and it happened.
Yeah,
that's not a fluke.
I mean,
that's
you look at the You look at the definition of the word fluke. It's a stroke of luck. It happened accidentally rather than being planned or arranged. That's a fluke.
See, that's in my opinion. Then that's not a fluke that they caught those balls, because that was the intent. Like the plan was the quarterback was going to throw the ball, and they were going to catch it.
So when you get back to not running with beast mode, how is that a fluke? That
is a fluke from their perspective, from the perspective of the Patriots. What did the Patriots think was the plan?
Run the ball, but
and that's not what happened. What was it for?
They
the
were
Patriots?
prepared. They were prepared for that slant. If you watch, they practiced that. They talk about that.
They did. Yes. However, what was it for the Patriots that they did that play and didn't run it? Would you call it maybe a stroke of luck? I would definitely
bad decision
for the Patriots. It was a stroke of luck that they ran.
I mean, you could
that
say
play.
that. But anyway, dude, I don't. This became an NFL stream somehow. You know what I
just
mean?
having a
In
good
a
time, man.
debate on something that, I could argue for hours. Like I am
It'll be on the podcast at some point, man. We'll just
we're gonna
sit down.
talk about the Patriots and what a coulda shoulda. You know what I mean? And it's just like football's a game of inches. You know what I mean? You win some, you lose some. Sometimes it rains, right? You ever see Bull Durham? I absolutely love that movie.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh dear God. You win some, you lose some, and sometimes it rains.
Bro, you know what my favorite oh God. As soon as I think about it, the fucking movie goes out of my head.
Is it a football movie?
It's a football movie.
Any Given Sunday?
No, it's not Any Given Sunday. That's a great one.
The Program?
Is it The Program? Program's James Caan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not it. Oh God, I can tell you the premise. The premise is like a fucking college or a high school, maybe college quarterback comes back to play for like 1 year. Sinbad, the
Necessary
professor.
Roughness.
Necessary Roughness,
Yes.
bro. One of my favorite sports movies of all time.
Yeah.
By the way, Craig, man, we're about to end here. We've been what's up, Craig? We've been talking about sports.
We made that turn. We made that turn about 20 minutes ago.
We really did. We finished up the fan film, so just somehow got into the the NFL and
so I said that there will be no Sunday show due to the Super Bowl.
And I said, oh yeah, that's right. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl this Sunday.
I don't doubt that.
Okay.
I do not doubt.
So
it could happen.
We'll see. I mean, it might not. Who knows? I hope it does. I'm a big fan of the Chiefs.
Do you? Let me just ask you this last question. Do you feel like the Chiefs beat the Ravens or the Ravens shit the bed?
Is it weird to say both?
I feel like the Ravens shit the bed on that one. I think that the moment was too big for them, and they shit the bed because they were by far the superior team.
I will agree that the Chiefs have not played as good as they have in the past. So I'm not going to contribute their win completely to them.
Yeah.
I will say, like, if the Chiefs had played the best they had all season and the Ravens had played the best they had all season, the Ravens would be going to the Super Bowl.
100%.
I'll say that.
Yeah, dude, the Ravens at one point looked like they were a juggernaut, man. They were a juggernaut all season. And then it's like when they got to the big game, it was just like, you shit the bed.
Lamar had to show off and throw a pass to himself.
It was bad, man. It was definitely bad.
The Ravens' offensive play calling was terrible. Lamar tried to be a pocket passer in that game. He could have ran for so many more. He could have. Like, Lamar is so good on his feet. Like, he's so good on the ground.
Dude, he was awesome to watch at Louisville down here. Like, that's really close for us, so we get a lot of their games. You know, and he was something else at Louisville. He definitely was.
Man, you know what, Steven, bro? If we ever have I don't know, we haven't discussed guests on the podcast, but if we ever have an NFL stream for our podcast, Steven, I'm going to say I would love for you to be there because I know you're a huge fan too, just to have a conversation. I know, I think if I'm not mistaken, Steven's favorite player of all time is pre-Brady. It is the one and only Drew Bledsoe. I'm pretty sure that's his favorite player, like his favorite player of all time. So that'd be an interesting conversation. Like we could have a GOAT debate for like quarterbacks. But yeah, I think we're probably going to call this. I just got a text from Chrissy, my fiance, and it says, "I'm going to fluke on your shoes." She can hear me through the wall. She's behind this wall right here. And yeah, and he's saying he's my all-time QB. So the conversation is definitely there to be. I think Brady is on the top now.
Brady has won more Super Bowls than any franchise in NFL history. So until somebody gets to around 5, I really don't even think there's a conversation.
Well, I think Mahomes has the potential to do so. Like with who he has around him, and that's one thing Brady was superior at, and everyone knows about it. It's no secret. Brady would willingly take pay cuts so that he could have the team built around him, and it worked. It worked so well. And you know what? It worked so well, and he was so good that Gronk even said, like, if you listen to Gronk talk about their whole Tampa Bay stint, Gronk reached out. It's like, hey, man, I know you're thinking about going to another team. I'd be interested in going with you. Just let me know what you pick. And he even says, like, I didn't look at any teams. He's like, I waited on him. He told me what team he was going to, and I'm like, I trust his opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, what'd they do? They went back and won a fucking Super Bowl.
Against every single analysis from every person that said he's old, he's washed up, he has no business being out there anymore. And what does he do?
He wins a Super Bowl.
Sits there, I listened to Patrick this, Patrick that whole season about how he's going to dominate Brady, how he's going to, and I just watched what happened. And there was only one person that was out there dominated, and that was the Chiefs. And the icing on the cake when they threw that last interception and the cheetah got the peace sign to the face was the seal. That was the seal for me. It was 100%. Like, that's what you get. Like, every single one of you guys.
And
like,
didn't the Eagles beat Brady to get their Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And
they sure did.
That I remember on the Kelsey Brothers podcast, they were talking about it. Like, because like Jason, obviously the older brother, who's the center, which I think will be a crime if he doesn't go in the Hall of Fame.
He should.
Bro, he's so good. But he's talking, they're talking about Super Bowls, and that's one thing that's one thing that Travis does give to Jason. He's like, you beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, so you will always have that.
Yeah, he did, and the defense, I think New England Patriots defense lost that game because Brady threw for 505 yards that game.
Oh, Brady was fucking
505 yards and you lose. It's like, dude, I am talking to that defense afterwards. Like, I'm not trying to point any blame here, you guys, but I just threw for 505 yards. What else did you want?
He's like, how else can I win this for you?
Like, threw for 500 yards and I lost. Are you serious right now? Give me a break.
The Brady Super Bowl win with the Bucks was his personal shut your mouth. I agree, man. And I'm gonna be honest. I thought he would stick around one more year after they lost it the second time, because I didn't think he would go out without another ring. So.
That was a rough year for him because he was going through that whole divorce and everything, man. So I mean, I don't put that on him for that last year he was there. But it's just, dude, you can't not go to training camp. You can't be in court. You can't be losing, going through that with your family, and it's just like, and it's like, well, he didn't win a Super Bowl last year. It's like, dude, he's 45.
Yeah, I was about to say he's won more than like any franchise ever. I think he deserves. And if I'm not mistaken, he did something, and it's the only thing that I know of that Peyton had on him before he came back with the Bucks, and that's that Peyton had defeated every team in the NFL. But up until then, Brady hadn't, because he stayed on the same team.
Right.
So like that was the only thing that like Peyton ever had that Brady didn't.
Yeah.
And when he came back, he took care of that. And that's something that is something I'll accept in the GOAT conversation. That like if it doesn't happen, if like Mahomes stays with the Chiefs his entire career and still wins the same amount as Brady, and be like, oh well, Mahomes never beat the Chiefs though. So
yeah, and I mean too, I tell you, man, I think that head to head is important. Brady putting him out of the playoffs and then beating him in the Super Bowl. You're talking prime Mahomes versus 44-year-old Brady.
If they were in their primes, I don't know how that would go, man.
let's look at Brady's defense back then. You had freaking Ty Law, you had Teddy Bruschi, you had Richard Seymour, or not Richard Seymour. You had Seymour. I always forget his first name. Dude, they had a defense. You know what I mean? Like that was Patriot defense. Like they were tough. You know, it was that'd be tough. I mean, but it was a different game then. You know, the hits back then, dude. Ronnie Harrison used to blast Marvin Harrison like it was his job, and that shit wouldn't go now.
Yeah,
You know what I
it
mean?
wouldn't.
Like,
Sorry, just looking at
wouldn't fly.
Craven here. He said Brady proved ending the argument of who it was, Brady or Belichick. Ended with Brady's history. I agree, and obviously, I mean, I'm not saying it's entirely Belichick's fault, but look at where the Patriots have been since then. Not well. So I think it was a combination of the two. I think it was a combination of Brady and Belichick together. Brady was obviously still great without Belichick, but I mean, there's only so much Belichick can do with what he's given.
My biggest debate with people, you know, when Brady was playing in New England was they were like, it's not Brady, it's the system. That was the biggest argument for non-Patriot fans.
It's the Patriot way.
It's not
the
Brady.
Patriot way.
Guess what, MFers? And I'll keep it clean. Brady was the system. Okay. Yeah. That was the biggest. He was a system himself. And he took that system to Tampa. Didn't have an off season to practice with them. You know, he didn't have all the early stuff with them. He came in late to that team. And they struggled early, and people were like, oh, he's lost it. It's like, dude, he has not had a chance to mesh with these people yet. Just wait until the end.
As soon as he did have that chance.
Goes on the road, beats Aaron Rodgers. Goes on the road, beats Drew Bledsoe. Goes to the Super Bowl, beats Patrick Mahomes. That thing that he went through, that stretch of teams that he beat to get there, bro, that's second to none. You cannot deny that Aaron Rodgers isn't one of the greatest quarterbacks. He is.
Oh, he's definitely up there.
You cannot deny that Drew Brees is one of the greatest quarterbacks.
Well, yeah, he was undoubtedly. Man, that was one of my saddest moments of this season. I was so looking forward to Aaron Rodgers with another team. So looking forward.
He lasted like what, one quarter?
Bro, he was like 4 plays in and goes down. And I'm like, come on, man. I was rooting for you, man. I was rooting so hard for you. It'd be sleeping. That's the thing, Val. I probably will be because I'm gonna be working. I mean, that's the thing. I log into work in 35 minutes, so I do have to end the stream here, Stu, shortly. It's just been a fun conversation, man. I don't really get the chance to talk about this with anyone. Do you do fantasy football?
I usually do, but I haven't I don't think I've done it since the pandemic. So it's been a minute for me. I used to do fantasy football every single year. And the thing that's fun about fantasy football is you catch yourself rooting for people that you never root for in your entire life.
Oh yeah, it is.
But like I have my team, but at the same time, I need so and so from the Jets to at least get a touchdown.
Bro, we got to get a YouTube family like a YouTube family fantasy league next season. Y'all, if y'all would be down, anyone in the comments, if y'all would be down, Val, anyone, I'll create one. We can coin toss for the commissioner. We could do whatever. Like, I just think it'd be so fun. I used to play with a bunch of military friends, but I since I moved away, there was like 2 seasons and I kind of like laxed on it, and I just haven't joined back in. So, we'll get it together. I'll get something together so next season we'll have like a fan. Bro, I would totally be down for like a fantasy episode, like every other week or so, just talking about shit. But
I'll tell you what, I picked Aaron Rodgers and he went down after 4 plays. This is bullcrap, man.
You better hope you picked up a backup QB.
It was my backup. You'd have to pull from what's left. You know what I mean? Like, you have to pull from what's left. It's like, I'll tell you what, though, man. You want to win in fantasy, Lamar Jackson was the way to go last year. Let me tell you. I
Bro,
bet
when
you
I
he
was
had some
playing,
points.
I got Tom Brady or Peyton Manning every year. That was my goal. But we're gonna end this, y'all. This has been so much fun. Back to the fan films; they were amazing tonight.
Yes,
all three of them.
Yeah.
This has been a great conversation. Once again, if y'all haven't checked out the podcast, please feel free to. We're talking about Reacher season 1. There is spoilers, so if you haven't seen the season 1 of Reacher, go watch that first. Next Saturday, we'll be releasing episode 2 on that channel. That'll be Reacher season 2. This Saturday, I will have episode 2, or episode 3 of my Life in Horror. This is a 1992 episode. Other than that, we'll be back. We'll be back together next Monday for Fan Film Weekly episode. I think it's 24, man. Yeah, next to be 20. The 24th time we've got together for this will be Monday on your channel. I can't wait to see what you picked. Other than that, everyone, thank you so much for sticking with us this long. If you have, hope you enjoyed the fan films as well. Don't forget to like. Once the video ends, if you could leave a comment, that greatly helps the whole stream and everything. Remember, all the links for the ones we watched tonight, as well as the channels who created them, are in the description, as well as Michael's. If you haven't followed him, we do the same thing over there every Monday. With that, I love you all. Have a great, safe week, and enjoy the Super Bowl. Later.
Peace.
Oh. I hate goodbyes.